Hello dear friends, this is your personal English coach Divyam here, and today we're going to study a wonderful poem known as 9 Gold Medals written by David Roth. 9 Gold Medals, written by American rock vocalist David Roth, is a song that inspires human compassion and cooperation. The poem is based on a story about 9 differently abled athletes in a special Olympic event. In a race, when one runner fell to the ground, all the others stopped and returned back to help him stand on his feet, and they walked hand in hand to finish the race. Each of the athletes was awarded a gold medal in recognition of their outstanding show of empathy and compassion. Variations of the song are available on the internet, but the version sung by the Scottish singer Ian McIntosh in 1996 is included in the ICSE board collection Treasure Trove. Though McIntosh mentioned it as a true story in his introduction, an online report claims it to be partially true. According to the folks at the Special Olympics Washington office, this incident happened in 1976 track and field event held in Spokane, Washington. A contestant did take a tumble, and one or two of the other athletes turned back to help the fallen one, culminating in their crossing the finish line together, but it was only one or two, not everyone in the event. The others continued to run their race. However, beyond the authenticity of the incident, the poem 9 Gold Medals conveys a greater message to the humanity that the world now needs no more competition but more cooperation and collaboration. This is very much relevant in our times when people forget to help one another in an unhealthy rat race in every aspect of life. Having known a little bit about the poem, let's try and understand the meaning of each stanza. Stanza first is: the athletes had come from so many countries to run for the gold and silver and bronze. Many weeks and months in training, all building up to the games. So it means that athletes have come from many countries all over the world to take part in Special Olympics. They were here to compete for medals, gold, silver and bronze. They have gone through strenuous trainings for months to participate in the events with high hopes and dreams of winning medals. It's as simple as that. Next stanza. The spectators gathered around the old field to cheer on all the young women and men. The final event of the day was approaching. Excitement grew high to begin. The meaning of this stanza is: people have gathered around from the whole world in a field where this event is going to take place. And why have they gathered? They have gathered to cheer the participants or the athletes. The participants are women and men both. The final event, the last event, was approaching. Time was running out, and it was the time of the final event. And excitement grew high, and people were more and more excited because of this. So a large audience was present at the ground to cheer participants of different events. They cheered and enjoyed throughout the day. Now it was the time for the final event of the day, the race. People were eagerly waiting for the event to begin. The blocks were all lined up for those who would use them. The 100-yard dash and the race to be run. These were 9 resolved athletes in back of starting line, poised for the sound of the gun. So as we already know, in a race, before the starting line, there are blocks where each participant has to stand, which means would use them. The 100-yard dash. So what event is it? It is a 100-yard dash. It is a race which the participants have to run. And there were 9 athletes in the back of the starting line because the race had not begun yet. And they were all set to begin. They were all waiting for a gunshot. Poised, which means they posed. When we pose for a photograph, we give a gesture. Similarly, there is a position in which all the athletes or the participants have to adjust themselves to start the race, and they were all waiting for the sound of the gun. The names of the runners who would take part in the 100-meter race were announced. There were 9 participants, all determined to win the competition and lined up behind the starting point. They were ready to start, waiting for the sound of the gun. The signals was given. The pistol exploded, and so did the runners, all charging ahead. But the smallest among them, he stumbled and staggered and fell to the asphalt instead. So here we see that the pistol exploded, signaling the start of the race. All the runners charged ahead along their respective tracks. But suddenly there occurred an unexpected thing. The shortest athlete amongst them, he fell down on his knees to the ground in the asphalt track, the track made of asphalt. What happened next? He gave out a cry in frustration and anguish. His dreams and his efforts all dashed in the dirt. But as sure as I'm standing here telling this story, the same goes for what next occurred. What is the meaning of this line? Nothing could be more frustrating for a differently able athlete after such tough training. The moment he fell, he knew all his dreams, hopes, effort were dusted. His pain and disappointment made him give out a cry, but it did not end here. There occurred something really strange following his fall. So after he fell down, there was something happen which doesn't really happen on normal occasions. The 8 other runners pulled up on their heels. The ones who had trained for so long to compete. One by one they all turned around and went back to help him and brought the young boy to his feet. What is the meaning of these lines? There were 8 other people apart from him. They all gathered up, and all the people who had trained for long hours to compete with each other. So each one had this in his mind. I will win, I will win, I will win. But what happened? When one person fell down, giving out a cry in frustration, the other 8 participants, they got together, and one by one they went back and helped him get up. And this made the people even more surprised. What is the next stanza and the meaning of next stanza? Then all the 9 runners joined hands and continued. The 100-yard dash now reduced to a walk, and the banner above that said Special Olympics. Could not have been more on the mark. So then all the 9 athletes joined hands and walked to the finishing line together. The 100-meter race was reduced to a walk, but still it was special for the great display of human compassion, cooperation, and sportsmanship. It could not have been special in any way. Meaning of next lines. That's how the race ended. With 9 gold medals, they came to the finish line holding hands still. So the race ended with 9 athletes holding their hands right to the finishing mark. They won 9 gold medals, 1 for each, very deservingly. And the last 2 lines, and the banner above and 9 smiling faces said more than these words ever will, said more than these words ever will, which means the 9 sportsmen stood in smiling faces under the banner that declared it as Special Olympics. Those smiling faces touched the heart of everyone present there. It delivered something special, a great feeling and a great lesson. This mere poem is not enough to express. It was beyond words. So friends, I hope that you understood this poem, and if you did, do like and comment below the video. And if in case you have any doubts in your syllabus in literature or grammar, do mention it in comment section and I will make a video tutorial just for you. Thank you for listening and I hope you have a wonderful day.